Welcome back, my boss ladies and gentlemen, to another podcast episode of the PREREG Corner. And you already know it's your hostess, Aisha. I'm so happy that you guys are benefiting from my content. Thank you to anyone who's emailed in, commented, liked, shared the video. Honestly, I'm really humbled, and I will keep my promise of uploading more regularly. And to those of you who have loyally subscribed like the bosses you are, I do see you guys, and I appreciate how long those 5 grueling minutes of making a YouTube account must have been like, especially if you did it just for this channel. It shows your commitment to wanting to really pass this exam. If you are one of my boss subscribers, comment boss down below and smash like if you're committed to annihilating this exam. As usual, if you're new here, then welcome to the PREREG Corner. Don't feel left out. I've made it easier for you to catch up quickly with the links to previous episodes in the description. So you may notice that my videos are a bit shorter. That's basically so I can test out if you guys like more shorter videos with more focused information. Let me know either way if you like the other type or this type. I really don't mind either way. Okay, as long as you guys benefit, that's the important thing. At the moment, though, you guys really want me to get to the good stuff. I'm getting there. The reason why you click the title is because you're struggling with timing, right? So let's get straight into it. Tip number 1, get used to a ticking clock. It's going to be in your exam. It'll be in the exam hall, whether you're right at the front or right at the back. It really doesn't matter. At the moment, the one thing you don't know is where you're going to be sitting in the exam. So get used to it in your own environment, in your revision environment. Stick it on a YouTube channel. Doesn't really matter. If you've got one at home, okay, great, no problem. All you got to do is put it on whilst you're revising. It will take away the initial stress or anxiety of, oh, I'm in an exam environment. It'll take that pressure off. It'll take the edge off, okay? So initially, yeah, you might have that feeling, but you do it a few times or you do it every time during your revision, it'll become second nature to you. So when it comes to the exam, that is one big thing that won't irritate you whatsoever. It won't even be an issue for you. You can then use that time just to concentrate as opposed to being obsessed over a clock. Okay, which brings us on to tip number 2. This one's going to sound really counterproductive, but trust me, ignore timing for now. Using the time to stress about time is simply a waste of that time, okay? If you are one of those people who are obsessing over it right now and it's really stressing you out at the moment, all you can do is, say for example, you got calculations, you want to do 2 hours or whatever it is that you're going to do. Write down the time you started, and once you've finished, write down the time you finished. Do that a few times to just get a feel for how long it is taking you to complete something. Okay, but from now up until June, and obviously up until September, there's plenty of time, like we discussed in the previous episodes. Okay, so there is plenty of time to test your timing out at a later stage. But at the moment, there are more important things and techniques that you can do to improve your timing without you freaking out about it. Okay. So which brings us really nicely on to tip number 3. This one is probably the most important one, okay? Technique before speed. Let's use our logic here. If I ask you what 2 plus 2 is, I'm pretty sure you'll know the answer instantaneously, okay? Why? Because you're familiar with the concept. Hence, it makes sense. If you're not familiar with something, if you're stuck on dilutions and you're worried and obsessed about timing and you're not spending it on figuring out how to do dilutions or not, understanding the concept of it or not applying your technique or improving your technique, every single time you see a dilution question, you're going to be stuck on it. It's going to take you so much longer, okay? So it's simple. All you have to do is practice your technique, revision techniques, exam practice techniques, different subjects, okay, interactions. Improve your technique first, get familiar with everything first. You will notice automatically that your time will pick up. The speed will pick up automatically, okay? So this one, if there's anything else, if there's nothing else you can take from this video, take this one tip, okay? Technique before speed. Really, really useful, really important, okay? Tip number 4, if you're entitled to extra time for certain allowances, medical reasons, or whatever it is, okay? Make sure you find out about how much time you have and everything now. Don't leave it till last minute. Find out now. So when you're going to mock exams and stuff, you know how much more time that you are allowed, and then you can practice with that, okay? There's no point practicing with, like say for example, you're entitled to half an hour more and you're practicing with half an hour less. It doesn't make any sense, okay? Get used to practicing with the time that you are allocated. Brings us on to our last tip, okay? When you're practicing exam papers at home, okay, make sure you treat it as an exam paper. You need to get to use all the energy that you're going to use in the exam. So you need to know how much of that energy is going to be used up. So say, for example, if you do 2 hours for calculations, you have to commit and sit 2 hours of calculations. You won't be able to get up in the middle of the exam to get a piece of chocolate or, check your Insta. You will literally have no time for that whatsoever. So all you got to do is practice as if it is the exam. Then you will realize, okay, I should have had more breakfast in the morning, or I really need to be more hydrated, or whatever it is. Okay, so that's really important. Practice at home as if it was a real exam. And I'm not saying do it every single day, right? I'm not saying do 40 calculations every single day and do it under exam conditions. No, I'm just saying from time to time, maybe once a week, you want to practice your calculations or even your clinical, like half a paper, but just treat it as a real exam. Okay, so bosses, that's all we have time for today. If you want more tips on how to improve your timing specifically for each paper, then all you have to do is subscribe if you haven't already and comment timing part 2. If there's enough demand, I will do a part 2 to this episode. Also, for those of you who have asked for part 2 to reduce exam stress before the exam, I promise I haven't forgotten. I just want to focus on other major topics that are going to be relevant to your timing right now. But don't forget, before you guys go, tip of the day, okay? This is probably the best part of the episode, okay? This one is going to be related to calculation questions. So, when you're doing calculations, make sure you pay attention to these 2 words if they come up in the question, and highlight them, circle, do whatever it is that you want, okay? The first is maximum, the second is minimum. Think about it. Here's an example. If you have a question relating to anti-malarials, something like Mrs. G is going on holiday and has been prescribed doxycycline for a week. What is the maximum number of doxycycline capsules you would provide? Okay, so we know for a child from 12 plus, obviously for doxycycline it's going to be 12 plus, 12 to 17, or an adult. It's 100 milligram capsule once daily. So, as we know, you would take the doxycycline capsules, 1 to 2 capsules prior to going on holiday. Therefore, in this case, the maximum number of capsules you would be able to give would be the initial 2 capsules. Okay? Then she's going away for a week. So then that's 7 capsules. Okay? And then don't forget that she has to take it for the remaining 4 weeks after she's come back from the endemic area, okay? So then that's an additional 28 capsules. So we have 2 plus 7 plus 28, which is going to be 37 capsules. If we change the question and they asked you what the minimum number of capsules would be, you can either do exactly the same thing or we can just minus 1, giving us 36 capsules, okay? It seems trivial, but trust me, it is vital. If you miss something like this out, all the rest of the calculation that you put so much effort in is suddenly going to waste. So be accurate. Maximum and minimum. There's other examples in terms of like methadone, right? There's so many other examples, but this one I think is a really important one. But boss ladies and gentlemen, thank you, as usual, for tuning in. Smash like if you enjoyed this episode. And if you haven't already turned your post notifications on, turn them on so you're the first one to know when I've posted. Until then, guys, I will catch you in the next one.